Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on A Tablespoon of Earth and Sea by Dina Nayeri. A Teaspoon of Earth and Sea by Dina Nayeri tells the story of 11-year-old Saba Hafezi, who is growing up in post-revolutionary 1980s Iran. Saba is captivated by America, its culture, people, language, music, and television. One day, an incident occurs, and Saba believes her mother and twin sister have disappeared to America, leaving her behind with her father. Saba's story unfolds over the course of a decade as she tries to figure out what happened to her mother and sister, imagining their life in America while she lives in a world of limited possibilities under the new Islamic regime. So first of all, I won this on Goodreads giveaways. Thank God I won this book, you guys. I honestly don't think this is a book I would have picked up by myself, which is a shame because I'm not exaggerating, you guys. This was the first book I read for this year, and this might be my favorite book of the year, and that's kind of hard to say and think about right now. Like I said, it was the first book I read. There may be some other great books, but yeah, this book, that's how much it affected me, that this might be my favorite book of the year. It was so incredibly captivating and emotional, and just overall incredibly well done with the narrative and the story and the characters. Dina Nayeri crafts such a remarkable story of this young girl growing up in post-revolutionary Iran, a young girl who dreams of freedom and no longer having to face persecution for who she is and the things that she likes. And it's also the story of this little girl who dreams of moving to America to have a better life for herself. She dreams of going to an American college. She dreams of watching American television. She dreams of American music and food. The main character, Saba, she is a dreamer. She's a storyteller. And it's all quite tragic, you know, because she has such an incredibly vivid and wild imagination, but she has to hold her imagination back because it's extremely frowned upon in her little village. And not only is she a dreamer and a storyteller, but she also has a lot of big opinions, which is also heavily frowned upon. And yes, she has to live day by a society that forces her to cover her hair, forces her to think a certain way, forces her to not have opinions. The beauty of what Dina Nayeri does with this story, it's very simplistic. The narrative is simplistic, but beautiful and very, very effective in that simplicity, I think. And you definitely spend this whole novel sympathizing with Saba, even if you don't come from her background, even if you've never experienced the things that she has experienced, you still sympathize with her on some human level, and you dream alongside with her because you're crossing your fingers, thinking to yourself, girl, I hope you get out of here and I hope you accomplish the things that you want to do. And this is such a richly detailed story. I know I said there's a certain simplicity to the story, but there's also a certain amount of rich detail that comes along with that simplicity, if that makes any sort of sense. And Dina Nayeri, just rich detail of the historic era of Iran during this time. And Dina Nayeri, she does a great job of making you feel like you're in this time period. You know, she does a great job of making you feel that grit of Iran and that uncertainty of Iran. And not gonna lie, there are some truly harrowing, dark chapters in this book. Some things that can get pretty uncomfortable, Sometimes you just want to turn your head away from the book because you don't want to read it. So that's what I appreciated about this book, just that rich detail that Dina Nayeri does, that you feel like you're in Iran during this time. You feel sympathy towards the main character, Saba. And Dina Nayeri, she doesn't sugarcoat anything, which is important. She doesn't sugar anything up. She doesn't gloss over anything. And also a great cast of characters surrounding Saba. You have some characters you love, some characters you hate, some characters that you grow to love over time. Just such a rich cast of characters as well. A lot of unique, crazy personalities that really give this book extra depth to it. So yeah, this novel, not only is it a book that takes place in Iran, but it also serves as a bit of an immigrant story. And it's also a story about Saba and her twin sister. Because like I was pointing out in the synopsis for this book, there's an incident that occurs. Saba's mother and twin sister mysteriously vanish and disappear. Saba never knows what happened to them, where they went exactly, but Saba feels like they abandoned her. Saba desperately wanted to go to America as well, but she feels like her mother and sister totally abandoned her, left her here in Iran as some sort of punishment. So Saba spends this whole book kind of, you know, like I said, she has a vivid imagination. She's a storyteller. She comes up with these stories, imagining what her mother, and more specifically what her twin sister, is doing in America. And I liked those parts of the chapter where Saba would be making up the stories about her twin sister, because they were a nice parallel to Saba's own dreams and desires, and she is kind of living vicariously through her twin sister, who she thinks is having a great time in America and experiencing things that she doesn't get to experience. Overall, you guys, I freaking loved this book. Like I said, I think this is going to easily be my #1 favorite book of the year. I can't really imagine anything else beating this at the moment. This is such a truly moving and beautiful and emotional story, and a story that we don't get to often learn about when it comes to historical fiction and just fiction in general. So if you're looking for something new and unique, something kind of contemporary in a way, I definitely highly recommend this book. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.